Hi, I'm Tech Guy from That Tech Guy, and this is the 10.1 Galaxy Tab, and this is the Nexus 7. Well, you might ask, why am I comparing these two tablets? The reason is because now that the price has gone down, because there's a new one of these, basically you can get it on Craigslist or eBay on other websites for about roughly $200 to $230, and now you can get this fancy tablet. It starts off at $200 for a price reason. I decided to compare these two. So we're going to do a little bit about the hardware. First, like I said, that screen difference, and you have your Samsung logo down there. You have your 2 point something megapixel camera over there. Basically, it feels really nice in the hand for a 10-inch tablet. It's pretty light. On the back, you have this plastic brushed metal, basically, and it's kind of reflective, as you can tell. Let's get a bit closer to see if you can see it there. It has all these lines going through it there, and then basically it has one speaker. Let's see if we can get it to focus there, and it has another speaker there, kind of giving you surround sound. You have your power button, your volume rockers, and then your headphone jack. And then for any of you who's never had a Samsung tablet, there's not a micro USB. It's kind of an iPhone-ish or Apple-ish port that they have down there. It's really weird, but another thing about this is this does not charge via USB. So if you connect this, the plug here, to your, if you connect it to your computer, it will not charge. So you always have to be plugged to the TV, to the outlet or whatever for it to charge. And that is a big nuisance. Just keep that in mind. And then now for the hardware on here, we have a 7-inch screen with a camera right there. You have on the back, you have this soft rubberized plastic. You can see it has all these little dimples in there. And then it has the Asus logo, the speakers here as opposed to the sides. So when you're using it, sometimes your hands don't really cover it because you're holding it up here. But the speaker is right down there. You have your micro USB port right here, and it's perfect. It charges even if it's plugged to the computer. And then you have your headphone jack here, and on the sides you have your power button, your volume rocker. The power button and volume rocker are kind of to the back. They're not on the sides like most tablets. They're kind of, as you can see there, they're kind of there and there. They're not here as they normally would be on another tablet. There's nothing on top, and this tablet's meant to be held in portrait as opposed to this one, which is meant to be held in landscape. Okay, hardware on these two, you have a 1280 by 800 resolution, and you have a 800 by 1280 for a smaller screen. This is pretty awesome that it's able to pack all that into a smaller screen. And on here you have a same thing on a larger screen basically. And then now let us turn them on. Let's see which one turns on fast. Power button and go. Seems as if the Nexus is turning on faster. I might have missed button on the Samsung, but it seems like it might catch up actually. Let's see which one starts out faster. Even though I hit the button later on this device, it seems like we're going to, are we going to tie here? The Nexus, basically the logo has always been the same. If you have a Nexus, Galaxy Nexus, or a Nexus 4, or any Nexus 10, this boot up is always the same. Wow, even though I pressed the button later on the Tab 10.1, it booted up faster than the Nexus. Whatever that reason might be, I don't really know. Okay, basically now that we have them both on, let's talk a little bit about processor. This is running a NVIDIA. Oh, something made noise. This is running a NVIDIA Tegra 2 processor. It's pretty smooth. And this is running a NVIDIA Tegra 3 processor. It's going to run pretty smooth, way smoother than here, even though they both have 1 gigahertz of RAM. this has a quad-core processor. It's going to run smoother than anything you can imagine. So for everyday use, you won't really tell the difference, but if you're playing a game on the Nexus 7 compared to the Tab, you might see a slight difference, or you might not, depending on how experienced you are with Tab. Basically, now that we have them both on, let's compare a little bit about screen quality. So let's go into the Gallery app here. Seems like the Nexus opened that one a bit first. Let's pick. So if you take a look here, the Nexus is doing a really good job of reprinting that image. It's not overly saturated, but one thing that Samsung devices are known for is overly saturating the picture. And I don't know if you can tell, but the greens look really green, the oranges look really orange. They're pretty close, but these oranges look a bit more yellow here, and here they look way more orange. Whether some people don't like the oversaturation of the Samsung screens, and I like them, but I think they both have screen quality pretty much the same. You won't really tell the difference. But if you zoom in, and if you see zoom and speed, there was pretty much the same. This one took a little long to render the image. I don't know if you can tell, but if you can see, these are much more orange there as compared to there, and some people, they can't stand that, but for me, I kind of love it, and I think, but you're getting really good screen quality on both of these. And then next we're going to move on to app launch speed. This one took a little bit faster to get back to the home screen, so let's test out, we'll start with browser. So browser, 1, 2, 3. Chrome seemed to have launched faster on here than there. And then let's try out the YouTube app. 1, 2, 3. They were both kind of slow there, but let's see which one gets it faster. Rendering. Oops. Sometimes that's kind of one problem I've had with this device, is it somehow accidentally plays the screen touching. Actually, as you can see, you have a little bit of lag there compared to here, where it's, I would say, pretty smooth. There you have a little bit of lag. You can see it kind of falls behind it. I'm not sure. That's probably the quad core problem. Okay, let's try something else. Oops. Let's close some of our apps. That is another thing with the TouchWiz interface that we have on here. I personally, because I'm still getting used to TouchWiz, it's running 4.0 here, and you have pure Android experience running 4.2 on here. Is Samsung has added this, let's get it for you there, this little screen capture button. It's nice to have, but the problem is, if you're used to the Android experience where there's just this, is you find yourself accidentally pressing the screen capture button over and over. Okay, so let's just close some of our apps here. I did it again. Oh man, that's it. Okay, let's open up this game. 1, 2, and 3. Let's see. Wow. This one looks really awkward in portrait mode. It seems as if the Nexus, of course, no surprise, got to the game first, compared to the Tab 10.1. And another thing about speed on these devices is that you can get a lot of slowdown from the TouchWiz interface. It takes up a lot of space compared to the pure Android experience, which doesn't really take up space, so you can zip around faster as opposed to all this, which has all this bloatware and slow down. For some people it looks really nice, it's more user friendly as compared to this, for lack of better terms, dark, no image. At app launch speed. Now let's go into the web browsing. So on the Chrome is the only browser that comes by default. There is no longer Android browser that used to come with it. Now it's Chrome. And then on here we have this default Samsung or whatever you want to call it app. Let's go to theverge.com. And another nice thing about both these devices is now with the 4.2 update on the Nexus 7, you now have swipe. So you can do the verge.com, and on here, okay, let's see which one gets to it first. 1, 2, oh. One, two, three. It seems as if this one's winning at this moment. We're already on the page here. Okay, the Nexus 7 is definitely winning. So if you want something that has a faster processor for the same amount of money, possibly, this will be the definite winner. This one's still trying to load here. And I think we're actually complete on the Nexus 7, so it just kind of blows this one out of the water. It's not even a question of which one to buy when. So now once again, if we're going to look at pixel density, they both have about the same, but because of the screen size, you're going to get different shots when you look at it. It's almost the same, but you can see a little bit of one more story down here compared to here, where it's kind of cut off already. It's about here. This is about the same on that, but for you have a little bit of whiting there. If you look at the scrolling, it's smooth on the Nexus 7. Here, it's smooth, but you're still at. If we're going to look at the text quality on here, it's kind of almost the same, where you can't really see any pixel differences. When you're looking at the image, the white on here is way nicer, and this one's kind of a grayish white, but you can't really tell, you can't really see pixels on here as opposed to on here. They're both pretty much the same when it comes to screen quality. And that's what you're going to get with these two devices. You're going to get really high resolution 1280 by 800 on these two devices. Even though web browsing will be a little bit slow on here compared to here, because the processor is faster, you're basically going to be able to browse around at a decent speed. Lastly, like I said, a little bit about the interface. This is running This one is running Android 4.2.1, and this is running Android 4.0.4. And basically the problem with these two, the problem with the difference is that you're not going to have Google Now. On here, there is no Google Now. The only Google you get is on here, like you have on here. So your Google looks like this, while this one gives you your Google Now process here. So that's a lot better than you have on Ice Cream Sandwich. Jelly Bean is a really good update, so if you're looking for the latest operating system, once again the Nexus 7 is your thing. But if you're looking for a 10-inch tablet that has a really nice processor, really great screen, you're going to want to go with the Tab 10.1 as opposed to the Nexus 7. And that's about it. If you have any questions, leave comments down below. If you have any feedback, leave it down below. Until next time, don't forget to like, enjoy, and subscribe.